Salutations, everyone. Welcome to this morning's DDO stream. My name is Samus, and I am mostly dead. I don't know if that's the technical term, but that's what I am. What do I mean? I didn't sleep until like almost 8 o'clock this morning. Then I got about a 2-hour nap. And I thought, oh, I'll get up and stream. Then I hit the snooze alarm a bunch. And I said, F it. I'm just going to go back to sleep. And I'll start my stream whenever I can. And almost immediately my brain clicked over into the on position. I don't know if you, I'm sure everybody has that, right? Everybody has days where they like know they can't sleep. I really don't get it so many times in a small window, because that's what it was like last night. I laid down, I tossed, I turned, I tossed, I turned. I got up, I watched Voodoo for a little bit. I watched some other stuff for a little bit. You know, like I mixed a lot of different things up. I was just like, no, there's no way to sleep. Well, that's what happened. I got that boom, you're not going to be able to sleep thing. And I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll just get up and try to stream. So, I'm running on about a 2-hour nap. So, we're going to see. We might wrap stream early because we're too tired. We might go forever. Who knows? I sure as hell don't. Alright, let's see. I'm just clicking all the buttons now. Not even sure the buttons I'm supposed to hit are there. Hey, Tlab, there he is. Happy birthday, bud. We probably feel about the same. Alright, so I think my plan is to start by... I don't Facebook people happy birthday anymore. I know it's like a stupid rule for a lot of people, but I feel like if I can instead remember that it was their birthday and tell them when I see them, then it's a memory exercise as well as I care more than just letting Facebook tell me that it was your birthday. That is how I think about it. Just like I'm fairly certain it's my father's birthday today, but it could have been yesterday. So I'm going to try to call him. Or it could be tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure, about 70% sure it's today. So I'm going to try to give him a call before I take a nap this afternoon. I'm gonna nap so hard. That's just my rule. And again, that's me trying to remember things like that. Oh, my parents forget my birthday all the time, or at least they don't acknowledge it. There was a while where... What am I doing? I have buttons. There was a while when I would essentially bet my wife if either my parents were going to remember and acknowledge my birthday. I had a pretty good streak for a while where my father always did. and my mother never did. And then I complained to my brother one day. I was like, well, at least Mom remembers and acknowledges your birthday. So then after that, she started to acknowledge my birthday. And my father, I don't think he ever forgot. I just think he reached the point where like his phone was broken most of the time. And he doesn't like to call. So he'd rather just send a text, and I think he like broke his phone. And instead of just buying a new phone, because that would make sense if your phone is broken. Instead, he just like text people occasionally or something. It's awkward. Well, I probably should have kept that guy actually, huh? Let's see what the damage is like with this. Yeah, this is better. At the end of the day, I'm not as worried about my parents remembering. But it certainly is nice to be acknowledged. Alright, good morning everybody. People are trickling in. It's good to see you. We're gonna do our best to play for at least a couple of good hours here. I want to kind of strive forward the best I can on this leveling up process here. Oh, that's the wrong button. Never mind. Yeah, that's... So I just had this... almost like a mental block. Saying you're awake. There's nothing you can do about it. I laid in bed for like 45 minutes to an hour this morning. And I was like, screw it. I'm hungry. I can't sleep anyway. I'm just going to get up and make something to eat. Watch a program or two. See if I think I can fall asleep. Like that's just how I felt. I was at the end of my rope this morning. And it's just, I understand. It's happening more and more like the last couple of weeks. Where it's just, no, you can't sleep. But, it could be worse. Yeah, it's either physically tossing and turning or mentally tossing and turning or both. I said if I could have fallen asleep, I just would have stayed asleep. Like my usual alarm got off and I was like, oh, I'll set it for another half an hour and see if I fall back to sleep. I immediately fell asleep and the alarm immediately resumed going off. I'm like, okay, well, apparently I'm tired enough where I could just sleep. So I set the alarm for 4 hours and I try to go back to sleep and just that mental trigger in my brain with, no, you're not going to be able to sleep. Might as well just get up. Melanie, good morning. Greetings and salutations. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Litany's like literally one of my favorite quests. A big part of the reason I love this quest so much is because you can stealth through this particular fight. I have not had a situation where I've been able to stealth through it in a long time. I love quests that feels like by using tactics and wisdom you evade part of the quest. And Litany felt like one of those quests for so long because it didn't used to take that much stealth to kind of get by unnoticed. That is not the button I meant to push. And now it feels like just the opposite. It feels like it takes so much to stealth through it that it doesn't even feel like the same quest. Think you're almost done with this crazy overtime? I would not get your hopes up. Maybe for that Christmas break. But if some of the stuff that they're talking about works out, and the country basically ends up going on another lockdown with everything else, you essential worker people like yourself are going to have all the overtime you could handle and then some. You want to get an epic evil litany for augment crafting? Yeah, I need to... Now that some of the augment stuff has come out and changed, I need to come out and take a look at it myself. Ben's in the live stream chat, and I do not think I'm awake enough to have a conversation and play at the same time. Yeah, but you don't think that'll be mandatory? I don't know. Alright, we're just going to go to Sinis, the Cinder Spawn. For those of you who don't know, I use a little program by my friend Grimoire. It's called DDO Puzzles. I highly recommend it for things like this. You can find it every place you want to be for free. Emerald Claw, I would stand. Let him deliver it to all. I think, therefore, I would ransack the temple. Broken the arrangement. Forget that. Already forgotten. Black Abbot, the Destroyer. They will. They will. They lack the will. You lack the will to take what you want. Red or white. Tell the adventurers they could pass. And then destroy them all! We're going to Sinis, the Cinder Spawn, and da-da-da-da. Done. Let me have this, damn it. My friend, I love you. But, even I cannot blow smoke up your bum in that way. You don't need to be evil to not get his penalty, so it's nice. Yeah, I need to check in on some of those crafting things. Beef came in somewhere in the conversation and I missed it. I just got enough runes to make mine last weekend. It's nice. Alright, sweet. I don't want to spend too much time with my eyes closed or I'll never just open them again. Yeah, well, it seems like it takes me like about 2 hours to get that stuff to kind of not need to be running or blowing or whatever anymore. And then by the time that's done, I do something to kind of get it stabilized, and then I get up and move around, do something else, and then it blows some more. Make a dark diversion augment a while ago and equipped it to a raid item, and when I TR'd and got to level 28, you were sad. Sad things are sad. Did we? We did, sweet. Update our Tempest. Which way do I want to go for this? I guess we're going to go this way. It's not ideal, but neither path, in my opinion, is ideal down here. It's all sparkly. Nope. We made it though, so I'll take it. What's up, V-Love? I am almost what they call awake. Not quite, but almost. And I will return to asleep when my time here is done in the wake world. Oh, I like that. I like Christmas Samus. I almost made a Christmas Samus emote. I probably should have, but I didn't. Oh, excellent. On the way to the car this morning, my neighbor stopped to ask if I knew who was cooking chili last night. Said it was driving him nuts smelling it all night. Did you end up going to sleep basically after you said that you were tired, or did you stick around? Because I noticed you logged off what I mentally decided was probably about enough time for you to fall asleep at the computer and time out due to inactivity. And you got real quiet for the rest of the night. But you never said anything else. Man. Definitely gonna be one of those days. Woo! That's our first big 100 or 800. Almost 1,000. I think we can get there. I think we can crack that 1,000 pretty soon. Level 18, I think we're going to take a look at our Eldritch Knight enchantments and probably do some sort of twisting, or not twisting, but reworking, so I can take an action boost. This would like to have an action boost. You got no EK tier 5 thing? I do. It's right here. It's this one. Eldritch Tempest. It's the only one, though. I deferred an awful lot of pleasure from Eldritch Tempest to now. Because I'm that kind of person that can just do that, apparently. Defer pleasure forever. Or at least a while. Believe it or not, I looked at watching First Contact last night when I couldn't sleep. And then I watched a bunch of other stuff instead. Yeah. I watched a couple of speeches. One by a YouTuber that I really grown to like. A lot of his philosophy about a lot of things. And Fowler from Fowler's Makery and Mischief. He kind of like boiled down his I think it was a speech that he gave a couple of years ago someplace, kind of talking about his pathway to his alone win and the mindset, stuff like that. Kind of interested. You in Heroics? I am in Heroics. For a little bit longer anyway. We're not too much longer for this Heroics. You're having gravity related issues, huh? Get on the other side. Sometimes it's easier to get this portal from this side for some reason. Yeah, the Tail of the Scorpion from the Chain of Rage. Age of Rage? Age of Rage. Age of Rage chain. Hey, we put the words in the order. It is a falcon, yeah, falchion. So what we're doing is we're cleaning up the rest of the 15s. There's 3. Yeah, there's 3 the walk-ups in here and the cobs that are in there. Low crit. I mean, 15 to 20. That's times 2. That seems reasonable to me. Like, it's a falchion. Yeah, critting often or critting bigger. It's like, which would you rather do? Would you rather crit more often, or would you rather occasionally nuke something to death? I'm a person that likes having things at a higher consistent value. So I like falchions. But teach their own. I don't want to go up this. I did want to go up that. Where did we park our car? Does anyone see our car? Does anyone know where we parked it at? Here it is. This is where we parked our car. Some stuff you need crit for like 19 to 20 Vorpal. Yeah. Oh, you mean on the Eldritch Blast? No, not on the Eldritch Blast. It doesn't really matter. Odds are next level we're switching back to quarterstabs for the remaining of heroic levels anyway. This is just what we're using for now. It's an opportunity to try something that we haven't used a bunch of and play with it. Oh yeah, you can get some sick crit profiles, don't? If you're working at it, and you have one of the classes that modify your crit profile, and you can like work some stuff. Hey Queen, what are you doing? Prancing around like a princess. Oh, you want up? You want up? Come here. Come here. Oh, you chunky monkey. Good morning, Queen. Good morning, she says. Good morning, Pops. Here, let's put on the full screen. Good morning, fuzzy puppy. What are you doing? Just sitting there crying? We're taking damage so I could pet you, you know. Here, let's turn around. That guy's way over there. Let's just walk up against this wall. There. Hi! Look at everybody! It's a Queen! It's a Queen, everybody! It's a Queen! What are you doing? You're not bothering Mama? Why aren't you bothering Mama? Mama loves it when you bother her. Daddy loves it when you bother him too. Alright, let's get back to work. You went down? You do went down. Okay. That dog. She cannot decide if she wants to be the center of attention or left alone. Well, it's like a swashbuckler. You can get yourself to critting on like oh, what is it, like a 12 or a 13 or better? Yeah, and it all depends on what you're looking for. If you just want to crit, you can figure out ways to make it where you can crit. And often crit with a bigger multiplier, but what does that do for your overall damage? Is it better? Is it worse? Like, you gotta crunch some numbers. Oh. I was about to be real annoyed. I thought she moved out of my cleave.
Worshippers kneel before a makeshift altar. In their prayers, the cultists offer their service to the avenging country, and in prayer, punish those who have wronged them. And justice has intruders. No, we will not deny our vengeance on the city of Earth.
What I want to know is why there's just random bottles of heavy water floating around. Seems odd to me.
The High Priestess seems strangely untroubled by her imminent death. And the spirit will only make her master strong. He cannot be evaded. He cannot be bargained with. Vengeance will be his. As the forge wraith falls,
Isn't all water heavy if it's in a big enough flask?
the cult is destroyed, and the city is now safe from their schemes.
Isn't heavy water like special water that they use in nuclear reactors?
More still lurk in the cogs.
Right, isn't that called heavy water?
Ending thirst for vengeance.
It's a form of water that contains only deuterium, known as heavy hydrogen, rather than common hydrogen, the hydrogen 1 isotope. The presence of the heavier hydrogen isotope gives the water different nuclear properties, increases the mass, gives it slightly different physical and chemical properties when compared to normal water. But I suppose if you're technical and you're carrying it a long ways, I would agree with you that all water can be heavy water. I have one of those 5-gallon, I think it's 5 gallons, 5-gallon water things that you use for like picnics and stuff like that that we use during the camping process as like our water reservoir for washing pots and pans and things. It's still in the bus right now. I need to make sure I get it out before it freezes. And I picked it up to move it around a little bit while people came over last night. It was pretty heavy. It was not that heavy, but it was pretty heavy. Oh my gosh. I hate this particular jump. I feel like I can never make it on my horse. Gonna run around in your cleric fighter tank. Sounds good. I'm gonna start on chain 2, I think, pretty soon. If you ever try to hang one of those bags for a portable shower, you know heavy water. Oh, I know. Water is not light. It's like 8 point something gallons or pounds per gallon, I think. I don't think that's a lot until you're trying to lift it above your head.
The ring is quiet, and the stand is empty. A small knot of people, another group of lumbering brutes, attacks the fighting pit.
I will. Don't. I honestly don't know when I'm gonna, like, if I'm gonna get out of Sharn for a while. kind of that window where Sharn is just like the superior quest for
Fights in the arena may continue.
quite a while. That's not the button I meant to push. Shh. Like, what else do we even have? The missing chain a little bit of 15s. So there might be a couple of quests. This is my last of this part though. Then I usually level. So I'll probably have to do a little bit of missing stuff. I don't know. As far as I know, you cannot. However, isn't it currently on the sale? Not sure what's on sale right now. I don't think I've seen a pass for Sharn. Do something fun? I am. It's called being a wizard. A wizard! Wizard's great.
This is the sword. It is all the
I didn't even know there was a Feywild pass either. I didn't think Sharn or Feywild had passes yet. That just shows you how little I pay attention to passes anymore. There is not a Feywild pass? Okay. I didn't think they had added either of them yet. But I honestly don't know. I haven't bought people or offered to buy people passes in a long time. Like, the problem with Sharn is that there's lockouts in it. So, like, to do chain 2, you have to get through chain 1. And to even get to, like, the cogs, you have to do a Sharn welcome. So I just feel like any place that there's lockouts like that, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have passes for, unless you're really going to be able to get led through the content, in which case, what's the point in that? You much rather wait till you can just have the content and take your time and enjoy it. You pay to get past lives or something challenging. I play to do the things that I find to be fun. Sometimes those things are as simple as, like, be a wizard or do something else. Or sometimes I like doing things that are really challenging. I prefer to have challenge for when I'm in a larger group. Unless I feel like a build just happens to be really overly strong, and then I don't mind ramping up like the R's or something. So like the Fey Buckler build, for example, that was a Reaper 4 build for most of its life. The Alchemist build is like a Reaper 4 build for most of its life because it's just so strong that doing stuff on Reaper 1 doesn't really make a lot of sense for the challenge. But in my opinion, most of the time it doesn't make a lot of sense to go more than Reaper 1 if you're by yourself, because the opportunity for penalty is higher and you're not getting a significant enough trade-off by yourself. Again, it depends on the build. I'm not... That's not the point of these couple of lives right now. These couple of lives are more to do with the... Seeing how easy it is to splash in a little bit of melee capability on an otherwise DC-based caster for epics. Like, I'm a big fan of 18-2 wizards for DC spellcasting. You lose about 2 DCs from my mass. So I'm trying to figure out if I can make up 2 DCs with trapping and a little bit of melee capabilities on a wizard in particular. And right now it's fine, but right now is not when it matters. Like right now I could probably take a broken broom handle in solo R1s. Alright, so that's the end of that. V-Love, if you want, I will go do a couple of the... I'm going to do Missing, the free Sharn quest in the harbor, and maybe a little bit more of that Missing chain. But I'm not getting in the voice chat. I just don't care this morning. So if you want to join me for Missing and some of the Missing chain and the free Sharn quest, what is it called? Under the Sea. Under the Sea. Boxes are missing. And they are fleeting under the sea. I'm gonna go do like those 3 or 4. Lost at sea, but I literally go under the sea. Like that's literally what the quest is about. Do Thrimmel. We are over level for Thrimmel. Probably will be over level for Thrimmel for most of the time now. Certainly, I think Thrimmel's like a mostly level 9 area. Is that right? So level 11 at the most. I have the feeling Melanie means like Delirium Chain. I don't care about Delirium Chain. It is a pack that I need to spend some more time practicing for hardcore, but it's not what I'm about today. Thank you.
Your help would be greatly appreciated.
Is this Smurf? Is Wicked Smurf? I'm gonna wave anyway. Alright. I think it was. Yeah, so getting to level 20, especially like today, is important. In the off chance that I can like join people for some of the raids tonight. Actually, that does suggest that I should try to do the shroud flagging. What level are those quests? Are they 17? Yeah, I don't care for the delirium stuff at all. 14 question mark? That doesn't seem right, does it? Not regular shroud. Like, what is it called? Creeping Death and the Horny Trumpet quest. I forget what it's called. Aren't they like 15 or 16? 15. Okay. So yeah, we might do this one, Lost at Sea, and then those two quests. And then I can at least join people for Shroud tonight if I can get to level 20. I'm trying to put myself in a position where I can tag along on as many of these raid things as possible. One, because it's a lot of experience. Two, I just need to slowly creep back into the scene in general. And three, if I don't get flagged, then when people ask me about it, then I have to just answer I'm not flagged, as opposed to I don't want to. And I would rather be flagged and answer that doesn't sound like fun than I can't do it because I just didn't take the time to do the quest. So I think that's probably a good thing to remember to work into the leveling process from now on, at least that one. But I think there's like several raids that get done now on Tuesdays that I could play Little Brother on. Little Brother is the role where I feel like I play, I tag along, I occasionally get like 1 or 2 kills, and I feel like all proud of myself. Like, I got 3 kills today! Yeah, there's that calendar. I should just probably look at it and actually know what's going on instead of just not caring and flagging anyway. So, Tuesday, here we go. What do we got? We've got... If I mouse over it, it doesn't tell me. This is a shitty calendar. The Legendary Shrouds at 8, so probably what, 7 Central? No, it's all Central Time. 8 Central, Vault of Night, which I'm not flagged for, and Killing Time. Yeah, so if I can get Shroud flagged and get to 20 today, then I can join people for Shroud. I am not strength build. I am DC caster. A DC caster with trapping and like my main spell is hold down my attack button. Saving my spells for things that matter, basically. Which again is a playstyle that I like a lot. Not for everybody. Kind of like Voodoo tanking on his Warlock builds. Not for everybody. But it's a playstyle he likes a lot. It's norm? I don't think anybody would say like your spell sortie stuff is norm. I feel like people either go all the way in on Eldritch Tempest or whatever. Oh, you're wrong though. see. Go back. Please go back to the Twitch page. Thank you. Oh, my difficulty? No. My normal is Reaper 1. I find Reaper 1 to be the best combination of first-time experience and a little bit of trickle from, a little bit of trickle from, Alright, good, we got the discrete bonus of, Reaper experience. I don't need very much Reaper experience because most of the Reaper experience chunks are going to come from big first times. But getting some is better than nothing. But the first time bonus for the experience is very important to me. Again, we're racing primarily to get to 20 so we can play with people. Am I using one weapon or switching? I'm kind of trying different things out. Like, this is the first time I've actually used this thing. But I'm going to edgelord a little bit and continue to use my bone breaker at 18. At least for a little bit longer. Which is part of the reason I made a comment about I need to figure out how to work in some boosts. My main weapon is a scorpion. It is this level. What was it last level too? I think so. But it's not every level, and it probably won't be. Like I said, we literally are experimenting. We have our tail in our hand. We have our green steel maul. We tried it for a little bit, but it just didn't feel as consistent in the damage as the tail. I have a petrifying shadow staff because it's very reasonable in this scenario, and I have my Syrian quarterstaff. This just happens to be a life that I did make sure I took two-handed fighting, so I have a little bit more than some other lives. Like that's the main feat swap that I had. Instead of taking like illusion focused and being all the PKs in the world, which was a build I really liked. We did last life. We might do again and see if we can. But it involves some gear stuff that I don't have the time and energy to dig into right now. To like get the DCs up a little bit higher. The Sagawagon. I'm usually a big Whale the Banshee person, but I'm going to try Hold Monster Mass, I think. Quite a bit. So probably those two. I'm also a fan of Power Word Kill, but I don't think I'll have room for that. So I should get 3, right? So Whale, the probably the big negative energy spell, and hold Monster Mass. Yeah, it should be okay. We'll see. Again, I was able to get my illusion DC to 119 and everything else is about 10 below that. So, just not sure that it's enough to matter. But we'll try. $119 was chump change. We were about 50-50 at 119. That's... Now granted, that is a spell specifically that has double saves, so you have to get them to fail twice in a row. So that's a little bit of a different story. But... And I was also putting stuff on, you know, Sharn as opposed to, like, some of the other content. But I figured Sharn and Feywilds are about the same, and I don't know Feywilds well enough to go and experiment in Feywilds. Oh, I'm sorry. Geezer Hermit. Does 119 take raid gear to reach? Beeps, no is the correct answer. Unless you think the +8 tome is that. It does take some filigrees. And if I had... It takes raiding, in my opinion, to get much higher than that. But I calculated I could have gotten it without raid farming. I could have... there's a +5 quality trinket intelligence that we could have gotten. And that would have changed our intelligence 3 higher. Because I think I would have lost Profane 2 to do that. Oh, why am I just not killing those guys? But with some raiding, you can switch your profane bonus, I believe, elsewise. You can switch that into an augment, I believe. So you could just get an extra 5 to intelligence. And then, if I wasn't using 7-piece filigree by using 3 on my artifact and 4 on my weapon, say if I was using my 8 weapon instead, I could get that raised a little bit more. I also did not have Yugo pots. Then was I not using my store pot? I feel like I was using my store pot at one. Maybe I wasn't. And then you could boost with like your Reaper DC bonus boost and boost with your, if you're in Magister, there's a DC boosting top tier, tier 5 I believe, that you can take. So you can click those two things together and get an additional +6, I think, or maybe it's +8 to your DCs. Yeah, see, I only had room for the autos. I didn't have room for, I don't have any Eye of the Beholders. I just had an auto set. And there's also some, I don't know if it's fine or whatever, but there's some weirdness, I guess, using your, to like kind of duplicate some filigrees between your weapon and your artifact. So I could raise my intelligence higher if I say had more of more artifact or more intelligence things. I don't know if that makes sense. But yes, I could boost that DC more with some more work. Again, I don't know what's intended and what's cheesy. And currently I'm in that mental spot of, if it's not in the rules, then they should change the rules to make what they want. That's just where I happen to be today. May not be where I am in the future. Don't hold my snarkiness against me long term, please. Alright, so those things are all trash, right? Yeah, that's fine. I reserve my right to change my snark in the future. Back into, oh, they finally said they don't intend this. I have not looked what they have or haven't intended. So if you tell me this is working but not intended, then I will follow that guideline. Generally, if they say things like, oh, this is not what we intended but we're going to allow it, then it's in the rules. Stats doesn't make your stronger same as DCs if you're a caster. Stats directly relate to the corresponding to the power of your DCs.
The tranquil sound of the blade's waterfalls mixes with the faint clangor of battle. The Denise stronghold must be nearby.
Alright, hang on. I always get lost. Always get a little lost. Do we have to make a swim at the beginning of this stupid quest? Is it just a trick? Is there literally just a pool of water there to trick me into looking around? I think that key could be in there sometimes.
The sounds of combat become much more distinctive.
I'm not going to hit all these.
Has asked that you help any downed Archons you meet to get back into the battle above.
Devs, haha, now you're wet. Well, I was wet before, believe me, Devs. Rawr. Yeah, but if I'm a DC-based spellcaster, I'm not as worried as much about my spell power as I am my DCs. DCs are far more important if I'm a DC spellcaster. It's kind of like the question of, do you do more damage if you're alive or you're dead? Well, you do more damage if you're alive. So the longer you stay alive, the more damage you're going to do. It's kind of that same philosophy. It doesn't matter if your spell lands for a lot of damage if it never lands. So you start by getting your DCs high, or you use spells that don't involve DC, and then you worry about your spell power after.
Notice a small rusty keyhole set into the mouth of the guardrail. The sounds of battle echo down from high above the courtyard.
Sometimes the key is in that pool, yeah. Hello, kitties. Did I buff? I didn't. Look at me! See, I'm already making the quest more challenging. Or go the other way, max your spell power to the point where even if they pass, they still take a bunch. Yeah, the problem is that there's so many monsters that have like built-in evasion that if you do that, you're just planning on a large percentage of monsters just never taking damage from your spell. Which I suppose is an option. I felt like some of that earlier last life when I was so necro-focused. It's like, oh, well, these monsters are immune to negative energy. Haha! Defeat. Again, it all depends on what you're trying to do. There's no right or wrong way to play a caster. You don't have a crest that fits in the... Oh, the other one's like over here, right behind these barrels. Or boxes, or whatever the hell these things are over here. Great. Look how messed up that guy is. What happened to this guy? Like, he's tore up, bleeding, screaming, and melted. Hate to be that guy. Well, there's for sure a wrong way. Is there, though? Curious what the wrong way of building a caster is. Perhaps I need to revise that statement to there's no wrong philosophy about spellcasting. There's definitely poor implementations. Is that better? Beef's frantically typing out the how I'm wrong. Well, Tobrell's up already this morning. I am surprised.
Malicia the succubus peers through the sealed gate. My goodness, guests! I suppose
I'm gonna
I
have
should
to
go
learn this
fetch
quest
another.
better. It's the shrine. This is where we came up. Oh, maybe I just gotta wait for her to, like, talk and then this door opens? Must be. I don't know. Just thinking, never casting a spell surely has to be a wrong way to play a caster. I'm gonna put that in the implementation category. But, like, I feel like I watch lots of Strimtom streams where he has played Warforged Eldritch Knights. Literally, they only cast
Metallic flame
haste and
as one of the gate's locks disengages.
reconstruct. I have never seen him cast another spell. He seems to have lots of success like that. There are times that I've seen him cast Meteor Swarm, but I don't see him cast Meteor Swarm that, like, as consistently as he doesn't. He definitely loves himself a Meteor Swarm. I feel like the devs want you to take the longest possible way to get anywhere on pretty much every puzzle. Yep. Once again, that holds true.
The muffled grinding of gears can be heard through the walls as the lever is pulled. With both levers pulled, the main hall's portcullis slides out.
Do I need to go this way?
Into the path beyond.
I feel like I have to go this way. Like I don't have another rune. I feel like I need another rune. Yeah.
The air grows strangely warmer as you head down the corridor.
You just like salads? I think they're fine as long as they're not dry. Like you gotta make sure you got a nice blue cheese dressing on top, and make sure it doesn't have extra sugar in it, or otherwise it's not healthy. And you don't want croutons on your salad. Just like bacon bits, cheese, eggs, some nice grilled chicken
Assaults your senses as you enter this
on my slide. That guy is the scary. Let's make sure that things are going. Alright, you boost. Alright, you! Dance effort dance. Yeah! You're a dancing queen. You're so sexy, you know what I mean. Whoa, 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 whoa. By the way, Sorks don't like shadows. Nobody likes shadows. Shadows are bad and they should feel bad. So I didn't fast last night like I should have. I got up, I couldn't sleep, so I was like, F it, I'm gonna get something to eat since I couldn't sleep anyway. I felt like maybe if I had something in my stomach I'd be able to sleep. Instead I just never slept. But looking forward to this last bit of flank steak that I have in the refrigerator. It's not as good as the last one I had was, but it's still pretty good. Need to figure out what goes in Mexican seasoning so I can take out everything that's sugar and still engage in some Mexican seasoning. I really like fajita meat. There's got to be something. This is... Oh yeah, there's a rune in here. Also the other trap. Is there just 2 traps in this quest?
This guard room is the last holdout of the Denise forces still within the castle.
I don't think that's enough traps to do anything. Shadows melt to warlocks. A lot of things melt to warlocks eventually. Warlocks are like the finger gun class. They're like finger guns. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Because they're not casters. Warlocks are an abomination.
Malicia smiles as she says,
I'm not a big Warlock
"It's not
fan.
nice to keep a girl waiting."
Another bottle of heavy water.
Malicia says,
Man, they just...
"Don't look so surprised. You didn't think those other times I died were actually going to stick, did you? You have to kill me on my own home plane for any chance of that." She continues, "And just as a hint, that's not Shepard."
make decent necrocasters? Hey!
She adds with a shrug.
Logan Yorick, welcome to the USS Fat Halfling. Glad to have you here. Spices: cumin, chili pepper, oregano, onion, salt, garlic, and lime juice. I wonder if it's lime juice that I was missing. 'Cause I basically cook with all that stuff all the time. I normally play on the best server, the Salona server. Salona Hype, everybody. Salona Hype. Come back here. Where are you going? Stop running around. Wow, I heard that a long time ago. There must be a big stream lag today.
Succubus falls. She whispers, "Until next time." When Malicia is defeated, the devil forces begin to retreat back to Shovel.
Yeah, that infight was tougher than it should have been. Well, this fight can be tough in general, I think. I'll have to check to see if my other Boundless is Mythic 1 or better, I guess, before I just eat this one. Honestly don't know. Closed eyes. Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to be using this for this quest, to be honest. I don't necessarily want to split oozes. But... guess we'll see how it goes.
A representative of the 12 waits to speak to you as you descend into the sewers. Shouts from below can be heard in the next chamber.
You're standing right there. You can't pull the lever.
Bubbles up from the water below, slaying those without magical
She's rude.
protection. Garko the Kobold stands suspended within Death Touch, the gelatinous cube.
This is a cool idea.
Huge corrosive ooze effortlessly consumes the members of the 12 on the platform below. Garko strikes a magical sigil and is teleported further into the complex.
Should I try to do traps? So when Tobrella and I went through and did this, he basically focused on killing the killing everything, and I basically worked on the traps and
Garko's
kind of
minions
assisting him in general.
proceeded further into the sewer complex.
I don't know if it's worth the hassle and the time. Probably is. Like if I don't do the traps, why'd I take all this? Take these trapping skills for, right? casting that nasty stuff at me? Stop it. Hack every kobold. That should be a song. Hacking every kobold. Oh, you done messed up, Aaron. Just stayed up there. You would have got a quick death. Instead, you're gonna get chopped down by 1,000 little paper cuts. We're doing traps now. Wow, that guy's got some hit points. So, I'm going to put the conversation in a weird place. I apologize. And the reason I bring this up is because Melanie's comment here reminds me of part of the conversation from last night's Timcast IRL, which really irritated me because the guest was one of those people I feel like didn't really have opinions yet on things. They were working on it, but that's not the button I wanted to hit. But they just weren't there yet. But anyway, they made this individual, Hunter I think was his name, made a comment somewhere about how you can raise groups up without tearing down other groups. And I that comment just kind of like re-jumped into my head reading Melanie's comment here, saying I still think nerfing Sorks was a bad idea, but I guess some classes needed to get buffed big time. But the general idea being that there wasn't a way to raise the other classes up without inadvertently doing damage to Sorks. Which is a mentality that I can understand, but not necessarily appreciate. Or agree with. I do, however, feel like everybody's got their favorite thing. Like, a lot of people don't want to see Alchemist nerfed, right? I don't play Alchemist because I feel like the Alchemists are so strong. It doesn't make sense to me for the Alchemist, like, to be that strong. And I just don't enjoy it. But I'm not going to cry for the... Like, I have suggestions on how it can be fixed, where it would not be problematic.
Garko slides down the hallway inside his servant, Death Touch.
And it would be a small nerf, but I'm not asking them to nerf them because my class is not strong enough. But there are plenty of people that is why they ask for those. There are plenty of people who, like, my thing can't compete at that same level, so I'd like to see them nerfed. I feel like Alchemists need a nerfing because they are overpowered to the point where I don't find them to be fun. Now, other people can play them and they really love them, so I would not advocate big changes. But again, I can understand the mentality. So the idea of Sorks being so good that we need to take the opportunity to nerf them does not seem correct to me. I feel like if there's a nerf like that, it's because they're overperforming and they've overtaken the percentage of the metagame that they were intended to. Kind of more like Magic the Gathering banning certain cards sometimes. Sometimes you ban a card because it's too good, and sometimes you ban a card because it's overperforming. I feel like some of the Sork nerfs in particular were due to the fact that they were overperforming. Using Tim Pool politics to debt balancing, you're out? Okay. I wasn't using his politics. I was using a statement that stuck with me and grinded my gears last night. But hope you had fun. But if you can find a way to bring things more in line, I feel like that's good. But the notion of taking away from somebody else so the masses feel more powerful is not a philosophy that I support in gameplay or game development. But like I said, I do feel like Alchemist could use a little bit of tweaking. Mostly I think that oh my god, I'm just bouncing off of this corner like crazy. Again, for like Alchemist in particular, I feel like if the stripping happens at the end of the spell for immunities, that's all that I need for Alchemist to feel more fun and more challenging, right? Because then that doesn't mean you auto brain into a room, cast your multi-vial, and move on. You have to put something else in there, and whether that just becomes alright, well I cast 2 spells before or another spell before I multi-vial. Well, that's still another thought process. Sorks got nerfed so many times. Everything gets nerfed a bunch. Whatever becomes the top dog gets taken down, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that mentality.
This barrier prevents Garko from passing further into the dungeon.
Do I need to wait here? Are there runes somewhere? I feel like I missed something. We got all the runes though, right? Relative does not equal absolute power. Nerfing Sork increases other relative power, but does that help them do quests any better? Exactly. So I feel like it's easier in a lot of these cases to find where the weakness is on certain things and buff them up a little bit. So like for example, The necro stripping immunity only works on undead and has to heal them before it strips them of their immunity. Right? So you could tweak that by saying this group of spells will strip from all creatures. Right? Strip their necro immunity from everything. And then that gives them the opportunity to strip immunity by hitting them with this subset of spells. And then they can continue to do things. That increases their ability to compete without penalizing another class. And it does not discourage the thought process. Again, I often say my problem with the alchemist is after level 12, if you're doing a bottle throwing alchemist, everything becomes a nail because you have a hammer. And everything just becomes, oh, how do I use my hammer today? Oh. You know, melee or range can hit for more than a sork? I have seen some exceptionally large meteor swarms over the years. I'm not going to say that that's you're wrong. I'm just going to say I've seen big numbers on both sides of those equations, but I have never seen a melee attack hit as hard as like one good critical meteor swarm burst. You got a friend who hit 300,000k plus on a ranged hit. How consistent is that? Because that sounds very impressive, but was that a stars all aligned moment? Was that the exception that proves the rule? Because I feel like it's a lot more consistent for you to get a place where, again, I'm going to use Alchemist, where you walk into the room, throw 2 multi-vials, and clear the room before the melees can even run in there and hit anything. Forget how close this guy comes back. Like, if the stars aligned exactly correctly, I can understand somebody out DPSing, like, a Sork in a particular place or whatever, right? But I feel like a well-built Sork with a big meteor swarm and all of this stuff going and the big critical chance, you're talking about firing off, what, 4 meteors for, 30,000 damage per hit across some, fire and physical. So, I mean, you're talking some big numbers on occasion. And that's okay. Because it's a cooperative game, and we don't care about who does last blow outside of, making sure everyone contributes. There are people out there who contribute without ever ever attacking anything or getting a single kill. There are people out there who contribute in other ways. I'm just, again, are those things necessarily... Wow, that seems bad. What are you taking? You're taking cold today? Wow, game, you don't have to tell me to piss off quite so hard. Electric, I guess it is. I thought the Horn Devils were immune to electric. Zap this guy like this, I guess. Again, a stars aligning moments
Sparks to life as
are
the
exceptional and are cool,
The hum of
but you
singing
can't,
comes
in my
from
opinion,
the main chamber.
go too crazy on like tweaking a class to those moments. And there's plenty of trade-offs for using arrows, believe me. Arrows are not extremely well positioned.
A room glows beneath the fetid water. Through the murk, you can just make out a sewer hatch next to the room.
There it is. Like, I can't make out anything. Are you kidding?
Leads down towards an unknown location. Above the lever on the far wall is a rune. A strange sloshing sound can be heard from below your feet.
I feel like jumping down there.
The rune activates, and the sound of a lowering drawbridge can be heard in the distance.
Oh, I didn't want to jump
Magic
down here.
resonates throughout the
Don't want to
complex
aggro this
as the
stuff.
second sigil is empowered.
Chase me. Chase me, Carnage. I know, we've been doing an awful lot of R8s with no caster. Well, I'm the caster. So, like, no caster. And the group's been doing fine. Usually one of the two melees will meld, intimidate, and kind of move them to the side until the masses are ready to beat it down. Seems to be a very, very practical strategy. That being said, Tobrel just going in there and just going boo and killing everything on his sword
As he strikes the second
was
sigil,
also a very
a flash
practical
of
strategy.
magic teleports him further into the complex.
Color spray does a lot of value too. Good point. Doom Reapers don't care about color spray, right? Those are the red ones with the weird mask that aren't the buff everything ones. They're just the big red name ones. They don't care about your color spray. Oh, it certainly is not
Progress further into the
not what
story.
they want. Certainly not. Brain, please hit the button I don't want to hit. Yeah, Doom's a red name. Dooms care for nothing. Again, they intimidate. They get melded. Like they are not impervious. Oh, we still have that running. Maybe I just leave it in this the whole time? I don't know. It feels bad. Light Bear, Arcane Ooze. Move negative energy out of here, please. Thank you. Oh, and then he bait a baby. Ugh. This is worse than that time I watched the third Star Trek movie. Or Star Wars movie. The Rise of Skywalker. All these monsters dying and then leaving babies behind. Gross. I feel like there's a trap here. Guess not. Hello, viewer! How are you doing this day? Would you like to be famous? Well, yes, I would like to be famous. I would very much. And it's Air 2000. Is it 2000 or is it Air 2020? Dun, dun, dun. Just mislabeled. For some reason I thought we were at the end fight. Should have known better. Please get the guy I want to target. Thanks. Alright. Let's pick something more wonderful to talk about. What are you most looking forward to having on your Christmas dinner? Are you like a ham or turkey guys and gals? Are you kidding me? I want you over here. Get out of me. Get out of my way. Does this MMO play like the Neverwinter PC title that came out in like 2003, 2005? This is more like a first-person shooter, but with the 3.5-ish Dungeons & Dragons rule set. It's close to 3.5 rule set, but not exactly. In fact, if you wanted to play this exactly like a first-person shooter, you could. One of the things that people were talking about last night that makes this game different than some of the other MMOs is the puzzles, particularly the floor tiles type puzzles, and some of the other... Nope. Nope. Come on. Come on. Go down. I'm gonna have to learn this stupid puzzle. Is the character option selection Go to Evening Star not available for free to play? I believe it is, but you still have to be in the right spots. Like, you still have to be in a Hall of Heroes. I needed to turn that one again. That is a VIP only option? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That is, I've not played a free-to-play character in a meaningful way since that option came out. The favorite food I'm looking forward to for Christmas is my mom's prime rib. Not looking forward to my mom's anything, but prime rib sounds good. My mom, God bless her. My brothers. They, what is it? Stockholm Syndrome? Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. My brothers have, like, Stockholm Syndrome for my mother's cooking. I love her, but it is not good. It is not good at all. We, last Christmas, my brother bought this beautiful smoked turkey. And a regular turkey that we made. And for years, I've been trying to teach my family the wonderment that is a simple brine and a little bit of time and energy. And cooking cooking a turkey. So it's still done, but it doesn't take 7 hours to cook and dry out the bird completely. So naturally, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Garko the Great stands before you, now stripped of his deadly.
And every year we have this incredibly dry, flavorless turkey. But last year we had this also delicious and wonderful turkey, and people couldn't figure out why the smoked turkey tasted so much better. So then my mother decided to take the leftover turkey and make turkey noodle soup, which sounds good. Turkey noodle soup in my family apparently consists of taking the turkey, putting it in a pot of water, leaving it there for about time for it to warm up, then ripping the meat off and throwing it in the bowl. The noodles get cooked in a separate pan with water, not salt, Not chicken broth. Not in the pot with the turkey. Not the turkey juice. Regular water. My family loves noodles. My wife and my son, they love noodles. They like turkey. Neither one of them ate it. Again, I love my mother. She is not a cook. But my brothers, man, my brothers. Oh my god, this is so good! Mom, this is delicious! They're sitting there salting it like crazy. They're putting pepper on it like crazy. Oh, so good! I love you guys, but you're drunk. To be fair, there are many kinds of acquired tastes. There's that for sure. Actually, what's this guy's hat? Oh, he's just wearing a mask. Okay. Cigars, stinky food, 7 hours, question mark? Yeah. No, they... Because here's the difference. Those people will come to my house and eat my turkey and proceed to go on about how it's the greatest turkey they've ever had. For like an entire visit. They know what good turkey is. For example. They know. Alright, so we have some choices here. We could take a spell focus, probably enchantment if we're going to try to be enchantment spect. Right? We could take... like improve critical something. Probably bludgeoning, because we're probably going to transfer off of the tail of the scorpion and into something else. We could take improved two-handed fighting. I was improved two-handed fighting. Thump, 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 thump. No. Or we could take swords to plowshares. Swords to plowshares. I personally am inclined to take enchantment focus, but I'd like to see what the chat thinks. My uncle cooked prime rib for our Christmas present last year. Nobody wanted a return. And it fit everybody. Beef says two-handed fighting. Again, I don't think that I want that to be my focus. Yeah, I'm interested in hearing what people thinks. I'm still gonna do what I want, but I'm interested in hearing thoughts. Augment summoning, definitely the best choice all the time. I do like augment summoning. This is not the build for that, but I do like augment summoning. Tell me the build? You've been watching the build. Basically, I have a couple of SLAs to do stuff. I definitely think it's between two-handed fighting and enchantment. My line of thinking is you already have 2 of the 3 feats, and the third is a big upgrade. I don't have the third one. I just have the first one, Beef. I just have 2-handed fighting. I'd take the improved this time, and then the greater whatever would be potentially next time. Why are you not cookie cutting the extended, maximize, enlarged, embolden, eschewed ingredients? I have no strength. I have enough. I'm 27. Two-handed weapon. Your ability score bonus damage improves to 2.5 times the ability score modifier you use for damage. So if I'm using intelligence to hit and damage, I'm getting 2.5 to my intelligence. So it doesn't matter. People take eschew material. Some people do. Some people do. Specifically distributed does. Other than distributed, I don't know how many people take eschew materials. I don't think very many. So I could take the second notch of this, getting additional 30% strike through chance and 4 melee power. Yes, I'm a intelligence-based DC caster with a SLA called Sword or Stick or whatever that I hit for my doing stuff all the time, and then I cast these other spells. I don't have 3 levels of Rogue. I have 2 levels of Rogue, so I do not have Swords of Plowshares through that. Yep, 2.5 stat. Beef is correct on that. It would be a increase to the. You could take 3 Rogue, that seems fine, and I might. I haven't decided yet. Right now I do not. Right now I've been debating it. Alright, seems like chat's like go ahead and take the improved. Okay. Let's do it. I am down. I'll take powered stun for sure. Not casting probably any of these. I don't have a focus. I have not chosen. I'm just kind of letting it feel out from where it's at, and I'll probably decide at 20 how I want to reshape for epics. I was talking about this last night in a conversation with Titan about people trolling him or you or me, and how you can let it get to you or you can roll with it. This is one of those situations where I'm being trolled. I'm either going to roll with it or not. Oh, this goes into epics? Yes. Yes, we are on Iconic Lives. We are on Deep Gnome. We will be going into epics. And we'll be doing 2 epic lives. Does not mean that the build won't change and its focus won't shift. Which is why I'm kind of leaning towards 2 instead of 3. Because if I go 3, then I pretty much am locked into doing the same build twice. If I do 2, then I could say like, alright, well that was fun doing a melee weapon. Now let's shift over and do like Inquisitive Splash and see how that goes. Because it's very easy to do that with a 2 Rogue Splash, but it's very hard to do that with a 3 Rogue Splash in my opinion. Or instead going, alright, well let's Necro Focus out really hard, play like we would play on the hardcore server, and see what we could really maximize with our Necro DCs. Again, that's something that's very easy to do with a 2-level splash, but not a 3-level splash. So, picking out the style for this life doesn't just mean figuring out the style for this life. It also means figuring out roughly how we're going to do next life. 3 Rogue is also good for Inquisitive. Fair enough. But you see what I mean, though. So, like, what decisions we make now do affect us for our next epic life, because we're doing first time throughs and we're coming back through and doing second time throughs. So, like, there is some repercussions involved. Alright. So I definitely want to take this action boost spell power now. And I believe that I want to also take synergistic magic. Like, I think we want these two things to go together. I feel like they're peanut butter and jelly. But we definitely want this to start with. And again, the reason why is that we're a little bit cheesy. I could throw shards at Fred and have 0 worries. The shards at Fred won't matter because when you do an epic, you re-level 1 to 20. So, like, I'm not worried about that. It's you don't get to change your classes around when you do a 1 to 20 unless you do an extra plus like 1 heart or something. Which I'm not doing. That is not part of the plan. Yeah, it's like doing a lesser, basically. Your classes stay locked in when you go back from 1 to 20. And there's not a please just repeat my current build option, which would make sense to me. But I'm not going to get on that high horse today. Bone Crusher. So again, Bone Crusher is a little bit on the cheesy side. I don't care. We even have 1 more augment filigree slot. I wonder what you do with 1 more filigree. Is there anything that's interesting with 1 more filigree slot? Probably not, right? In all honesty, this should probably get exchanged for this one. Like, these should get flipped around and I should dump stuff so my Bone Crusher's at 5 filigrees, but I don't want to. I don't want to spend that that investment in resources right now. So anyway, agree. So like putting in extra melee power is pretty good, right? Like 5 melee power. If I had a rare one. Blood Feast melee power. City's Beacon melee power. Looks like melee powers on the rares seem to be pretty interesting. 3 Shatter Device or 3 Snake Bite. Let's take a look at. Whoop. That's not what we're looking for. Fine, please. Attack and damage. Let's see, 3 pieces give 46 plus 1 per epic character level and poison damage. So we already are running the Sonic one. That's a 2-piece. That does basically the same thing. Except it's Sonic. So Epic TR lets you read this. Okay, so when you Epic TR, you go back through the leveling process at level 1, and it puts you at the Fate Trainer person, and you level up back to level 20. But your path is already picked for you. So like, I went Wizard, Rogue, Wizard, 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 Rogue, Wizard, 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 potentially Rogue, probably at level 20. Right? Or at next level, for example, if I've completely decided I'm going to do there. And then you stop at level 20, and you have an Epic Destiny Sphere. Now, if you when you iconic TR at level 30, instead you go back to the character creation screen, and it's just like you're TR'd. You don't have to be an iconic. Iconic TRing takes you out of being iconic and puts you in a regular category. Let's see. The other one that Beef mentioned was Shatter, right? Is that correct? I have some Shatter tokens. Or filigrees. Where'd it go? Shattered, yeah. Let me look at Shattered. So a 3-piece Shattered does your attacks heal you for 1d6 no, that's 4. You get 10 PRR. No, that's shards. That's shards. Let's go down one more, because I feel like Shattered was good. So you can take like some fort bypass, some attack and damage, some melee power. You get some extra attack and damage. You get some extra double strike. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, so let's see what we have. Let's just see what we have. So we could armor piercing, attack and damage, and melee power. For the low price of giving up a D46 damage. So let's call that. Oh, let's go hit something. There's a training dummy over here, right? So that's like 12 to 15, 17. There was a 7 in there. So it looks like that's a little more than 10 damage on I'd say it's probably 10 on the low end and more like 12 in the middle. I have today a silky smooth face and a clogged sink. Congratulations, my friend. Welcome to babyfacehood. You got a baby face. Okay, so we could change that for 4 damage all the time. So what do we think of that? Is that an upgrade worth taking at this junction? And our reverberation right now is universal spell power and PRR. That doesn't seem like a big loss. So what does the chat think? Is this an upgrade or not? I like it, but the damage is harder to see in the base number and the double strike. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, we broke that training dummy and I'm not getting another one. Okay, I don't think these are filigrees that are so important that we shouldn't just pull out or blow them up with the destroyer. Which I don't think I have. Giant Hold, right? Giant Hold's the quickest place to get the filigree destroyer. Any general vendor? I have not been to Ravenloft yet. The ship vendor sells it? Well, now it's too late. Now I've already teleported the Giant Hold. Now we've done messed up Aaron. What a fine predicament you got me in this time, Beef. Oh, there's some. No, those are the same. Those are not the things. There we go. Sentience Destroyer is what it's called. I had 5. What a piece of S. I even looked for I wonder what I looked for. Apparently it wasn't Destroyer. Apparently it wasn't Destroyer. Alright, so I put this here and here. Attack and damage. Definitely armor piercing, right? Do we think that the melee power is good? What was the other ones I had access to? Yeah, I typed dis. That's what I was thinking. Dis. Yeah, it's got to be better than these other ones that I have, right? Hang on. We already did armor piercing. Yeah.
I almost feel like taking wing.
Alright. Do you have an augment slot? You do. Do we want to pull out the Ruby of Ghostbane for an upgraded Acid Spell Power Gem? Today we could use a classic Unslaughter, so it's basically free. Our next bunch of lives are going to be Eldritch Knight, potentially. Yeah, I think we do. Because when we're not on the Eldritch Life, we can just destroy the paid for acid one. It's not a big deal.
Now I count the hours until I am allowed to hunt again.
What? We just have a little corrosion on us. But we happen to be in Giant Hold, where I believe they sell bigger ones. Bigger ones. Don't believe they're labeled correctly. They're bigger ones. So now that's not going to tell me.
Good. Now prove yourself worthy of having a dragon at your side.
Allegedly they fixed that, so that works, right? $97. That should be a little bit of an increase.
It's the only
A little bit.
I have left.
A little bit. So that puts our acid spell power at 385. It's a little chunk. Also, our melee spell power is 30. So we activate our boost. That's 80. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. Alright, how do we want to make these changes? We can pull this Mystic Wards out and put it over here. I feel like we could potentially pull some Critical Mastery out and put them over here as well. Let's relook at this tree. 3 digits on the relics. Was this in game once? It was in game once. I like this, but I don't know how much of this we want to do. I think we want to just do it all, right? Not that. Int, this one. This one. What? Oh, we also have to take into account, do we want the Subtle Force 2? Subtle Force 2 is a big game. I'm 17. How's my acid spell power? 385. Yeah, it should be higher for sure. of want to get this Force's Edge in here. Kind of want this Force's Edge. We also are not getting the full 10 PRR out of this. So this is just armor class, and this is the PRR. I think we need to prioritize the shield and improve shield next. Alright, so big action boost, Arcane Siphon, Eldritch Strike, Eldritch Tempest, Color Spray, and those back. Oh. Okay, so how is my spell power? So first of all, one of the things we're doing is we have a Burn Scar Sash on. That's getting us the Enhanced Corrosion. Then, like I said, we slotted the 95 from the Implement, which we can't see. So that's in there. What else do we got going on? I think we have some universal spell power stuff going on. We have some past life stuff going on. Like the gnome past life stuff, kind of deep gnome helps a little. I don't know why the colors, the queen was turned off. That's lame. Those are the main things, I think. And we can boost it slightly, which I think we're going to. Let's go to House Durasco. What time is it? It's 1:30. And this is going to give us an extra 30 to melee power, so we're going to go to 110% melee power. So those are all going to help as well. No, not you. Yes, you. Alright, unfortunately we can't do greater stuff yet. So we're not level 19. Not level 19, Samus. Stop trying to get potions you can't use. Nobody loves you. So these last 3 minutes at a time. So that's an hour of the improved erosion. We're not going to hit them that much. We're going to do our best to hit them, but we're never going to hit them that much. We're just not good at hitting those. I'm going to move this up here and this to go right next to it. There we go. So those things should get there. Oh yes, the spellcraft skill. You're correct. We also get we maxed out our spellcraft. Plus, because we are a gnome, we can get an extra 20 spellcraft over here. That also helps. We also are using a spellcasting implement that may or may not show up now, according to the thing. It's one of the things we were talking about being kind of messed up last time we looked. And this didn't change in now, right? No. Plus ship buffs and God only knows what else. God only knows what else piles in there. Speaking of things, there's a Trogbell, ladies and gentlemen. A wild Trogbell. So I'm going to also put this out here for people. One of the things that I was debating on, I think I decided not to change it. So how spell power works is, let's say a spell is going to do 10 damage, right, at 0 spell power. So think of that 10 damage as your base number, and then and then you're taking the base the number times your spell power broken down in the value of 1. So 100% of spell power is going to be an extra 1. So you're taking the base damage, and you already have 1. Okay? So you have this. It's really kind of weird to explain. So if you're going to do 10 damage with your spell and you have 0 spell power, it's going to be 10 times 1, and you're going to do 10 damage. Okay? But every 100 spell power is another value of 1 added to that. So if instead it would do 10, but you have 100 spell power, it's going to take it times 2, and you're going to get 200. Or sorry, you're going to get 20 damage. Okay? If you have 3 or 200 spell power, it's going to go 10 times 3 for 30 damage. And of course, if you have like a 0.5, so if you have 350 spell power, it's going to be 4.5 times. So you would do 45. What edition of D&D is this game based on? So in theory, it's based on 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons. That's where the core basis of the rules come from. It has been tweaked and probed and prodded a lot based off of the MMO nature of the game, the universe in general, and it's also heavily inspired by other editions. So it's inspired by 4th edition. It's got inspirations from 5th edition. It's got inspirations from 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. They take inspiration and they try to like cram stuff in, but the game core mechanics of the rules are based on 3.5. So that means it falls off, but not that greatly. It does never fall off. It's always taking your base damage and multiplying it. It doesn't scale. If you get to 1,000 spell power and you do 10 damage, you're going to do 110 damage because you're at 1,000 spell power. Anyway, the reason I logged back over here to look at things is I was considering switching into a profane experiment set instead of the part of the family, but I decided to stick with part of the family because of the artifact bonus to helpless as well as the melee spell power and the fort bypass. Does that continue to sound correct, or is it better off to have 2 more sneak attack dice, 2 more constitution and intelligence, and 25 to universal spell power? I feel like it's close, but I still feel like the melee power and the helpless damage kind of edges it out. I'm interested to know what you guys' thoughts are. Alright, we're level 18. It's time for level 16s, which means Sharn Part 2. So let's grab a helper and do a couple of quests in Sharn Part 2. whatever. It doesn't really matter. Haystack's so bad, though. I mean, anybody can stand at the beginning and do nothing. I'd rather have a person with DVs, I think, even if she's a level lower. Because, again, I'm not pulling her into combat to do things. Take me to the river. Take me to the drunken tavern inn. Oh, man. I actually, before we get started, I'm going to take a quick 30-second bio as well. I'll be right back, everybody. Just step away real fast. Alright, kids, I apologize for that, but I realized I had to go, and I was gonna, one way or another. Alright, I'm also gonna... Oh, I love this demon shield, by the way. This demon shield is great. Silver bark. Yeah, I need to find a different armor skin at some point here in the near future, too. I'm not sure what I want. Alright. The hunt begins anew. So it took me quite a while to warm up to the dragon quarterstaff, but once you listen past the mouthful of marbles, as Beef likes to put it, it actually is pretty funny. Surprise! Again, with this strike through, firing off our burst and everything else, I feel like the damage is basically where it was. Might be a little bit more, just a bare minimum more. Oh, hello. But we can boost it 8 times pretty quickly. Our acid damage is up slightly, not a lot, just a little bit. Is that enough guys here? I think we can get away with this. Our crits may actually be a little lower. hard to tell. Our attack speed feels up. I don't know. I do really kind of want this third rogue level. It does cost us on our DC some, but maybe it doesn't matter that much. Alright, let's get around the wall. Far off another... No thanks. I know, but I also want my spell sword dice to go to D10s instead of D8s, and I also want that last tier spell dice. I feel like it's extremely close. It could go either way. Oh, there we had a bigger crit. Darn it, it's in there. So let's see what happens if we drink a improved erosion, if our damage increases significant enough that we really notice. That puts us at 440. Yeah, that is noticeable. Our 3 button never did go off. You just die. Thanks. Oh, look at all these guys over here that want to play. This game is PC only, huh? It is. It is a... The game is coming up on its 15th year anniversary. It kind of predated a lot of that kind of shared technology. And it's... Obviously, its base information, or its the base programming is even older than that, right? Because it took time to develop. So it is an older game. On the flip side, it is free to play. Like 100% free to play. There are pay to play barriers, but you can unlock everything eventually by playing the game. Do I recommend it? Not generally for new players. Hang on. Let me rephrase that. I recommend playing the game. I recommend playing it for free. But at a point, you're going to want to spend some amount of money on the game. Whether it's buy a couple of packs or take advantage of the big Christmas sales that are going on right now. You're going to want to spend a little bit of investment dollars in it. But it doesn't have to be a lot. For the amount of hours you can get out of this game, you can really have a minimal investment. What game do I recommend to new players? Again, I would recommend this game. Again, what I was trying to say is I would not recommend... I would not recommend staying free to play forever, is what I was trying to say. A few dollars investment goes a really long way in this game, is what I was trying to say. So, like, for example, the content I'm playing right now is behind an expansion pack known as the Masterminds of Sharn. So to purchase this content, it is like $40. I think it might be on sale right now for $35 or something. And it's one of the better packs. That's what I'm trying to say. Play for free and then figure out where you'd like to invest, because it is a good game for investment. I currently am a VIP subscriber, which means I pay a yearly subscription, but they have a monthly subscription and I want to say like a 3-month at a time subscription. And you can also buy what they call I think it's a 2-month VIP window, basically. So say you're going to you're going to check the game out for 2 months. You can become a VIP. You can get one of these code unlocks. And you can be a VIP for 2 months at a time or whatever. So if you want to invest in it for a short period of time to see if you like it as a VIP, then you can do that way as well. They're very good about having payment options. What I was trying to say is I would not recommend going VIP right away until you got a chance to kind of play with it. There is no quote-unquote single-player campaign. It is an MMO. The game is entirely an MMO. You can play it solo all the way from level 1 to level 30 if you want. Or you can play with people from level 1 to level 30 if you want. Kind of up to you. There's a lot of replayability in it. You have... Let's just look really quick. So they introduced something a few years ago called reincarnation. So you get bonuses for basically taking the same character, getting it to a certain point, and then starting it over again in a different class or a different race. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 classes currently. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 base classes without getting into iconics. So you can mix and match any of those together. And you can mix and match up to 3 different classes together. So you can really get a lot of playability out of that. And then they have class reincarnation and race reincarnation. So redoing the saint, like dwarf 3 times is very good, as well as like elf, human, etc. As well as your race past lives. I'm currently doing what's known as iconic past lives, so I am working my way through these lives right now. So there's a lot of replayability. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to answer questions to the best of my ability. Max Sterling, welcome to the USS Fat Halfling. For those of you who don't know about the Fat Halfling, I always like to kind of mention it a little bit when people hit that button, because I go, you're playing a Dungeons & Dragons game, but when I subscribe to your channel, a school bus works its way back and forth across the screen. So, my wife and I have purchased a school bus. We're in the process of converting it into a tiny house with the goal of moving into it full time here in the next year or so. And living mobile over the next year. Or in the next year. Probably forever. So, getting people excited about coming along for the ride on our magic school bus adventure is important to me. And the USS Fat Halfling is the nickname that we've given to the bus. Kind of like when you name a ship. You know? So, that is why the USS Fat Halfling. We have an Instagram account at the same name, USS Fat Halfling. And it's a great way to kind of get updates on the bus. I tend to talk about it a lot on the stream because I spend a lot of time working on it. And when I spend a lot of time on working on a project, I tend to talk about it a lot. So, and again, it's the future. It's the thing that I'm most excited for going forward in my day-to-day life here. So. Stay a little closer to these things so we can beat them all up at once. Shot in the back by security constructs. Big stretches. Eddie really loves Sharn. So ends our hunt.
Your would-be informant lives somewhere upstairs in this slum tenement tower. The door into Evan's apartment stands before you, wide open. This can't be good. 2 hobgoblin corpses lie at the feet of a stern gnome. The air smells of sulfur. And who in Khyber are you?
Who in the Khyber are you? I'm a me. Alright. Get all prepped up here for being attacked by fire monstrosities. Just had a Mark of the House Cannith drop in a Feywild chest. Don't think I've ever seen this drop in a random loot before, have I? I have. All the marks drop. They're pretty rare. Don't. Oh yeah, you can still use the House Cannith marks, but they're pretty uncommon. Of course, you can just go buy them from the House Cannith vendor when you get a high enough level, or high enough favor, not high enough level, high enough favor. Find the woman in black.
You turn to head outside, only to find a man standing in your path. He beckons you over.
Alright, there's some trick here that pretty much auto spawns the woman in black. I don't know what it is. It has something to do with going over by the puzzle. And that's all I know. There's the puzzle. So as we work our way around to the puzzle, it'll trigger. somehow. I don't want to accidentally push any buttons on the puzzle just in case we look at it and it's a couple of moves away from being solved. So I don't want to just run through the puzzle area and goober it up here. Yeah, it is not a couple of moves away from being solved, I don't think.
Amidst what appear to be ancient ruins, it still gleams with the magic of a shan long vanished.
Yeah, I'm not great at this puzzle. Honestly, don't know anybody who is great at this puzzle. So there's a couple of them I know. Most of them I still do not know. Alright, so we've activated the puzzle. I'm going to see if the lady in black has come up. I feel like I still usually have to run around a whole bunch to find her. I also feel like she's usually in this area.
These ne'er-do-wells have mistaken you for an easy mark. This won't end well for them.
Yeah, I don't know what the secret is to get this to automatically pop up. Short of like solving this puzzle and killing those rats. Oh, there's a lady in black on my radar. There she is. We ran by here, right? We did.
Discouraging.
I love this blabble incoherently. Flavor text. That's what I call role-playing. Blah, 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 blah. Fine, just follow me. Yeah, we did. That's how we do it. Blah, 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 blah. What did we not break? Ah. That sewer pipe. Yeah, I do really love having evasion on my
Strange. Not
casters.
like that. In a place like this.
I think I remember to cast this on my stick. Alright, I don't pull any of the levers till after I make sure I talk to that guy. It's just because I'm paranoid about it.
Find yourself in a small corner of the vast sewers that snake beneath the city. If your suspicions are correct, the
Dear DDO, I would like to cast my spells. Thank you.
Ash, the half-orc, shouts down the hall.
Huh? One of these lights just came on. Nice job, pal.
Ash the Therash bellows down the hall.
That's the second light. Just one more to go.
Like how this guy tracked down the person that we're looking for, but is not smart enough to walk around and pull levers and valves to open secret doors.
Therash falls down the hallway. You should probably investigate.
Certainly makes us feel smarter, doesn't it? Like, haha, I outsmarted this dimwit. I pulled 3 valves. And opened a door. It's like, curses, I never would have thought to pull things.
At first, Lady Thora gapes at you like a startled deer. Then she sighs with exasperation.
This wasn't the button I had to push. I'm gonna go ahead and summon my hireling. I'm not as worried about getting randomly killed in this quest. Now that we kind of got this far. Especially if our hireling decides to like randomly heal us every once in a while, I think it'll work out quite nicely. Just even put her in attack mode, I'm not that worried about it. Pandemonium guy not susceptible to dance? That does not seem correct. Maybe it is correct. Oh, Harleen bit it. Guess there was a Reaper up here probably wrecking people, huh? A little on the safe side when it comes to... random Reapers showing up. Alright, now we do actually have to make sure that we don't get killed here. Either that or take the time to raise our hireling, and I just don't feel like our hireling is worth the gold investment right now. To raise it.
We had a deal, Talion. Thora calls out when she sees the lone inquisitive among the attackers. Nobody quits the Dark Lanterns, Thora. Thora least quit, Talion responds. And you're done playing house.
We got a fear dot coming down. We're gonna have to figure out where the Fear Reaper is pretty quick. Stop fear dotting me. Not into it.
want to talk to Evan, you need to do it now.
Not sure if we ask somebody to assassinate another person or if we were contracted to assassinate somebody. It's a little bit of A, a little bit of B, I think. Might have to be really unnerving. A little after 2. That is normally my quitting time, is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we're just going to go just a little bit later today. I am very tired, but I still don't think I can sleep yet. That's why I got up this morning to start to stream anyway. It's because I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to sleep anyhow. So, probably going to sleep really odd today. This is a quest that I feel is tougher than some of the other ones in the chain. I don't know if everyone feels that way, if it's just me.
A temple dedicated to the god of wealth, located in the pulsing heart of Sharn. The main temple has just closed its doors for the evening. I wonder why Polkaran's high priest wants to meet with you after hours. The high priest gestures to the east.
Take the sky coach at the end of the northern quarter. It will deliver you to your destination.
One of Sharn's most powerful men has turned against Lucian Vaunt and has selected
A door and a hallway. No! That leads to another door. That leads to, oh my god, another door. You laugh, but seriously, doors are like the scariest thing in Dungeons and Dragons. You never know what could be behind a door.
This trap may be useful.
Intruders! Activate the alarm spells! Lock down the entire tower!
Pulling the ornate lever triggers a suspicious rumbling in the hall behind you. You uncover a
Trying to avoid the sticky.
Troublesome little devices.
They are troublesome little devices. You are right, Dragon. We really need to get in the habit of hitting the one of the boost buttons before we fire off our cleave, making sure that we have our maximum spell power going, or melee power going. We're also trying to make sure that we have a reasonable amount of spell power or spells being cast. So remember, we get, every time we cast a spell, we get a count of this critical up here, this force. So it gives us +1 to hit and +1 to damage for every stack of that we have going on. So literally casting spells powers our damage and hitting things power our spells. Eldritch Knight's kind of wicked like that. Clicking the difference in our attacks by having the full spell power stuff up and running. Even if we just fire off a magic missile. Magic missile. Saw another person back here. Nope, not that button. So slow, Gandalf.
A large group of guards on vents in front of the
1,800. I think that's a current personal best this life.
Feel the force of my claws.
way more hot there. They keep reminding you more of your time down in the cogs than limits.
I like this guy's haircut. I wonder if I could pull off a haircut like that. Probably not. Probably not.
And suddenly gives way beneath your feet. The rolling clank machinery is loud and
Oh, Gandalf, it's sticky. No! I was trying so hard to dodge stickiness. Right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and shrine before we start pulling these levers.
If only I
A
could
little bit of A, a little bit of B.
feel my wings again, beating like thunder through the summer sky.
the machinery loudly grinds and squeaks. The smoke pours from the sabotage.
Troublesome little devices.
Normally I'd use a hireling to pull this, but I'm just gonna pull it. I don't think it's a big deal for me to run across it. And then I don't have to worry about my hireling getting wrecked or caught or knocked down or anything. Oh, I found another sticky trap though. I'm the best. I can never remember the order of this room. Here, then over here.
It's the room you get to capture.
up here.
Another pipe breaks, and the machinery itself begins to
So much shenanigans. Clearly missed a lever. Because the other room started on fire and started shaking, it had better be in this room.
pulling the final lever causes the temperature in the room to flare up as the system breaks down. The last piece of equipment remaining on the reactor is installed. Soon,
I'm so... I'm so... I'm sorry. I don't know if I've ever heard the weapon just go ha when somebody's died before. You can tell I'm tired, right?
the gnome roars at you as you enter the room.
My wonderful equipment! How could you destroy it like that?
Come here. Come up here and get me. We don't want to fight down there. Come on. Oh god, he's gonna make us fight down here.
The massive construct emits a strange metallic grating sound. It sounds
I don't remember if we get 2 waves of trash or if it's just the 1 wave of trash.
too damaged to continue its assault.
Oh man, that took me by surprise, I'm proud to say. Oh, what time is it? $2:15. Do we want to do this last quest before? Yeah, let's do this last quest, and then we'll probably call it a morning stream. Then I'm gonna probably crawl into bed for as long as I can get away with. That sounds amazing. Sounds really good. Whatever, she doesn't want to talk. She's like, this is not the time for talking. Alright. Okay, whew. I was brave enough to make that jump last life, and I wasn't sure if I could do it this life. Apparently you need to also have your jump spell on. Go detain those mercenaries for me. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Thanks, mate. Thanks, bud, mate. So I've actually taken to not using the detour option in this quest and actually just running back invisible. Another one of those places where the invisibility has been really good for me. Invisibility in DDO has had a weird history. It's either been the best spell ever or it's been trash. In my experience. So right now it's kind of in this weird happy medium place where it's either trash in a quest or it's the best spell ever in the quest. There's no in between. You don't want to get got by this soul of cruelty life, right? Which is totally possible. Protection from energy just ran out. Strange. I thought I saw something down there. I don't think I care about that loot chest bad enough to go get it.
It's a fine evening here in Charlotte, says Lucien Vaunt, his voice brimming with confidence. And tomorrow will be truly beautiful. Vaunt will be talking on stage for a while. Now's your chance to steal back the Stormreach beacon. That's because tonight, the world is about to change. The people in this room are about to change it. Another announcement. On behalf of Vaunt Arcanotech, it is my pleasure to announce a revised and perfected version of my device. Introducing the new Vaunt Arcane Apprentice.
Keep hearing noises and I'm not sure what they're from. Like, part of them feel like they're like outside noises, but they feel very close. I'm like, it doesn't seem very likely that it's outside noises.
Charming assistant. Now demonstrating.
Because I'm in the basement, so if something was like right next to me in the basement, they would be 5 feet underground, and that seems a little bit ridiculous, even for me.
Clearly, smashing it is not going to get the best value for money. But you'll notice it still casts a spell, even when misused in such a wasteful manner. Cool, unbelievable, Drog says, crestfallen. And we do have an extra copy of the matching edition of the device available. We should make that. Some
Again, we want to make sure to keep our spells coming in at a semi-reasonable pace here.
But for normal everyday use, the Vaunt Arcane Apprentice is completely guaranteed for the lifetime of the user.
Alright, again, I'm not going to use the D-door shenanigans. I'm just going to invis. So I'm going to fire off a Fire Ship Cold. Make sure I have an active this going. Hit visibility, and we're out of here. These things want to chase us. I don't care. Bring it on. A lot of those things are going to be busy fighting in various NPCs in the quest. So it really is much quicker to, in my opinion, to just rerun back through here. Assuming you have invisibility. Now, that being said, we did kill all of the monsters in here, for the most part, that we would... these guys would be busy fighting. Apparently there was a respawn there, or we missed somebody. Might have been that guy that we thought we saw before and didn't. So any of the guys that we ran past here might chase us outside, so we may have to deal with a mob or two out here if they really did see us. But assuming that they did not, we're in very good shape. He did. Yeah, we gotta want to watch our pacing here. Make sure that we keep our some sort of buff running for melee damage. That guy decided to attack us a bunch of times, even though he was gone. Fair. Easy peasy. Didn't even take that long, 9 minutes. So I feel like that run is like 4 minutes long, so it's much less dangerous, but almost half of the quest is by making those runs. So personally, I feel like that was much better. Right. So we have now finished chain 1 and chain 2. We'll finish up the cogs probably later this evening. If we can, we'll come back early. It really is just going to depend on how much sleep we end up getting between now and when we're ready to come back tonight. Everything's messed up right now. My whole week has been fighting all the things. So we have 46,000 experience, so we're gonna wait and hold until our epic levels are level 20 to an attempt to get as close to level 21 as possible. So I think it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. Alright, everybody, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Oh, I suppose I should put these things in here before we wrap up. If you'd like to help us out, but you don't have a lot of funds, youtube.com/SamusGarobo is a YouTube channel I'm trying to grow. It's most of our D&D content. Both of these vlogs go up there every single day. Technically, it's also live streamed there, as well as when I do a special recording or something, I put that up there. Like sometime in the next couple of days, I'll be uploading a clip from our previous life review. I try to do a review life video most lives if I think it's worth talking about. So we recorded one of those. It is part of the regular stream, so if you watch it live or you watch the vlog, you'll see it. But if you missed something and you want to go back and check it out again, it's a great way to help us out. Subscribing over there, interacting with the videos, stuff like that. It's a great way to support the stream for free. I would really appreciate it if you take the time to hit those buttons. If you have a couple of bucks and you feel like the stream is worth a couple of dollars, you know, like a cup of coffee or less, like much less if you want, patreon.com/Samus is a great way to support the stream financially. A buck or two for you adds up on this end quite substantially. So if it's something you can do, I ask to consider it. It's not a requirement, obviously, but you know, it is the best way to support the stream overall. All right, Fumbles and Fame, Bacharach, Niflheim Bolox. I think we're gonna throw it to Fumbles and Fame. Fumbles and Fame has been a real team player of late, throwing raids our way and whatnot. So we're gonna give him a little extra love. This week. All right, everybody. The plan is to grab a couple hours of sleep, eat some dinner, and then come back pretty much right away. Hope to see you guys then. Usually we are back around 7. That may be a little early tonight. Maybe closer to 8 tonight, or even 9. But if you like, subscribe, and follow the channels, you'll get the notifications. All right, everybody. Peace, much love, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a few hours. Toodles.